What's going on YouTube? It's Mike here. Today guys, I'm going to be doing my what to expect on the iPad mini video. So this is my first kind of what to expect video, so let's get started. The first main feature I think the iPad mini is going to consist of is, of course, the smaller 7-inch display compared to the 9-inch display. Now it's been rumored that this display is going to be exactly 7.85 inches, diagonal of course, so I do agree that that's definitely what we're going to see, so no doubt about it. You could beat the rumors as much as you want. It's definitely going to be a 7-inch screen. If it is an iPad mini, obviously it would have to be. I don't think Apple would go with anything smaller. I think 7 inches, 6.5 inches is the way to go because they don't want to go too small, but they don't want to go too big because if they go too small, people are just going to think of it as a slightly oversized iPod Touch like the iPad currently is. And if they go too big, people are going to think that it's pretty much just the same as the current regular iPad, just at a lower price or a lower type of spec model. And talking about lower end models, I do think that the iPad mini is going to be a lower end model for sure. Obviously the price is going to go down. I don't think that they're going to start with a 16GB iPad mini. I think they're going to go 8GB, 16GB, and 32GB. And I think they're going to stop at 32GB, or they could even stop at 16GB, or maybe do 8, 10, 16, who knows. Honestly, it could be any size, but I think they're going to stop at like a 32GB mark. I don't think they're going to go higher since it is mini. You don't want to mainly use this iPad for like tons and tons of games or tons of web browsing. It's just an iPad mini. Like, it's a smaller version of the iPad, and it's just a smaller little tablet, that you'd read ebooks on, play a few apps, of course, and kind of, just do whatever, simple web browsing, simple note typing, and so on. And if they do make this lower end model, of course the price point is going to be a little different, so it's probably going to be, because the specs on this thing aren't going to be low, like, either A6 chip or A5X chip. I think they're going to go with A5X just like they took from the iPad 3, and then the next regular iPad, like the iPad 4, will get the A6 chip that's currently in the iPhone 5. And the price point will probably be either like $199 or $299. Or something similar than that. I think it'll be like at $299 because they don't want to go with the same iPod Touch price, of the 4G, because the 32GB is obviously a lot more, and it only comes in 32 and 64GB for the 5G, and they also don't want to come close to the iPhone price either, so that it just seems like, it's just another tablet, it's just another oversized iPod Touch. So I think they're going to go, maybe, $249 or $299, somewhere in that price point range. The main next thing about this iPad mini is the colors, and I'm not just talking about the black and white, I'm talking about some of the iPod Touch 5G colors that we got this year. Even iPod Nano or iPod Shuffle colors that could range from, yellow, red, black, gray, blue, pink, green, pretty much whatever Apple wants to do with those colors just in general. So I think that could range from any kind of iPad mini model. I think that'll be on all iPad mini models. I think several colors will be available, and I think it'll look really stylish and cool, and that's going to be another kind of approach as to why people want to buy this iPad mini, because it's going to come in different colors and be unique, just like the brand new iPod Touches. So I definitely think that the iPad mini is going to come in color versus it being just a black and white front. However, it will keep that black and white front depending on what color backing you get for the iPad mini, because it's the same way for that with the iPod Touch 5G. So they could use the same idea that they took from the iPod Touch 5G in terms of the colors, the front and back plate, and put it into this brand new iPad mini. And then the last thing I want to talk about, of course, is hardware. Now this is a little different in terms of like the design and ports and stuff. So the first major thing is that Lightning port that we got on the iPhone 5 and the iPod Touch 5G. So obviously this is going to come for future iOS devices for sure. Why the heck wouldn't this be on the iPad mini? I don't know. Of course it's going to be. So you could use the same Lightning charger you got with your iPod Touch 5G, your iPhone 5. It's going to be pretty much the same. And then, with the speaker grills like we have on the iPhone 5 and the iPod Touch 5G, that's going to be the same. I do believe that the headphone jack is going to be on the bottom instead of the top. I think Apple's going to revert all of that stuff. I think the cameras are going to be very similar from the 5G. I think we're going to go with that 8-megapixel 1080p camera that we had on the iPod Touch 5G and the iPhone 5. So I definitely think that this camera on the back of the iPad mini is going to be upgraded from the iPad 3. I would definitely expect something like that. And then in terms of volume buttons, those will probably stay the same. The power button will stay the same. I do think that the mic that was on the top of the iPad, like on the direct top of it that was just hanging off on the metal, I think it's going to be moved to the kind of top center, which has been rumored too in those pictures. So that's why I think it too, because that's been a true rumor. You could go look that up. If you look at kind of like rumored mock-ups of what this final thing will look like, you will see that mic in the top center move. So that's about it for my video, guys. Of course, stay tuned for October 23rd, because that is going to be a special video. Of course, I'm going to do coverage on that event. Why wouldn't I? So be checking my channel on October 23rd for the video. Full coverage right after school, of course, because school is my #1 priority than this. So definitely be checking my channel around 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on October 23rd, 2012 to see my full coverage. You could also follow me on Twitter. It's at MikeIPodHelp101. No S in Mike's because it just didn't fit when I signed up. And you could follow that for updates on October 23rd. So go do it now. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please leave some comments below on your thoughts. Of course, rate, give this video a thumbs up, and click the subscribe button up top. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. You're on video. I'm putting this in the end for bloopers. How's that sound?